Hello, Yu-Gi-Oh tubers. JBuzzsaw79. Got another deck profile here for you. I actually got to give a shout out to this deck, to the RJB0. Originally, I went to his site to look up some stuff to see what was all going on, and that's when I first saw this deck by him. I kind of glanced it over, read up on it then, at that point, and really liked the deck. It fits a lot of my play style for being more of the anti-meta, trolly, roguish thing that you can really kind of get into. So my deck profile for today will be Wind Up Rabbit, you say, but no, actually, this is Chain Beat. So with the rabbit here, basically during either player's turn, you can target a wind-up, in this case himself, with Chain Beat. You banish him until your next standby, and then you get to put him back onto the field. So what happens is, if anybody's not really sure what that means, if somebody activates a Magic Cylinder, Torrential, Dark Hole, anything that basically would destroy the rabbit, he bounces himself off the field and comes back. The more common term people use is called a floater. Basically something that leaves the field and comes back as a floater. It keeps reoccurring. I do run 3 rabbit. I've seen some build for 2. I really don't know why you'd run 2, but seems kind of crazy to me. Next, I do have the next major floater, which is Evil Swarm Thunderbird. Now, he's not quite as good as Rabbit in the regard that he has to have an effect of a card activate first, and then he can do it himself afterwards. When he does come back, then he comes back at the next standby phase, unlike Rabbit, who has to wait till your standby. He also gets a 300 attack increase, making him 1950, which is exceedingly awesome with Chain Beat the way it is, which we'll get into the other major card player here a little bit. He is really, in a weird way, your boss monster, being the strongest in the deck at pretty much every interval once you get him back into the game. I'm using this effect to bounce him. 3, Vanishes the Radiance. Vanishes the Radiance is a really good card. Some people don't run it at all, and I don't really understand why. With the formats as the way it is, people rely heavily on graveyard. One of the things people will do is, beforehand that I noticed with running, I had one of these on. It was more of just a side thought at that point, a little tech in piece. But people would just dump stuff into the grave to try to get enough ammo, I guess is the way I'll say it, ammo to push back against the deck. And by adding in several banishers, it allows me to keep things in the grave removed, which takes away another aspect of the deck my opponent has. I do run 2 bear. I've seen people run 1 bear, no bear. I might even have seen 3 at one point. I think 2 is okay. I would recommend running 1, because I think you do need bear for consistency, just because of the fact that he can go ahead and get Rabbit himself, or another card in my hand here currently. And the nice thing with bear, obviously, is that he's himself a 1600, which is pretty good in this deck. So yeah. I say that because I also do run Ringed Rhinos. Now, most people don't run Ringed Rhinos obviously because Thunderbird and Rabbit are better. For the effect. Oh, my phone's going off. We're going to ignore that for a second here and pretend we don't hear it. Every time I try to make a video, it seems something goes on. Anyway, I like to bring Winged Rhinos because he is a 10 key. He is an 18 beater, which without hitting Thunderbird's effect, he is the strongest in the deck, and an 18 isn't bad. When a trap card is activated, you can return him to the hand. Basically, you burn up the summons. Some people like to run him because they say that, well, it's you're losing that summons. But I think that once you kind of start out and you get Rabbit in and Thunderbird and they're kind of coming in and out of play here, what do you really care about having to resummon Winged Rhinos, because you only have a few monsters to begin with, it seems. That is my notification for somebody left me a voicemail. Sorry, I am now distracted. So the Winged Rhinos, though, really good card, I think. I don't think it really matters to use a normal summon up to get him out. And of course, the King himself from anti-meta, Thunder King Ryo. I don't know why I wouldn't run a deck without him. Some people have told me that I don't know why you run him because, gosh, you can't use 10 key with Ryo out. True, but if you understand things, you probably will either play stuff beforehand or wait for your opponent to take him out. It really isn't going to get in my way at all. So there's other things you can do too. You could book him down and then do your search. So Ryo's not going to hinder the deck in any way. He's only going to give you pluses off of it as far as I'm concerned. So that's that one in a nutshell. Spells, I do run the 3 MST. You kind of have to. You don't really have any other really good options, I don't think. Maybe the next format here will bring back the Heavy Storm. That's always the hope. I don't think we'll ever see Trinad come off, but oh well. I only run 2 Power Duality right now. I thought 3 was like kind of like almost in a weird way a dead draw for me when I've been playing this. I went 4-1 at locals last I played this year. My only real loss was against the Boojin player, but I drew absolutely the worst hand when I played him imaginable with the deck. So it was pretty lackluster. So and that's just the way it is sometimes. Against everybody else, you know, they'd start out strong usually, and then once I would start doing things on the field, it didn't matter. But I did notice that sometimes I was sitting there with a Power Duality, yeah, I could play it, but it really didn't seem like I needed to, or by that time it didn't matter, so I did remove 1 Power Duality for the time being to add a Terraforming in. And some people say, well, why you have a Terraforming? And if you are unfamiliar with Chainbeat, Blackguard is why. Fortunately, as my story usually goes with people, when I do these deck profiles, I run proxies. Apparently nobody in the world has Black Gardens. I went to my local store, they didn't have any. Everybody I play, one person has a set for his own Chainbeat, and he has no extra. So that's that one. Blackguard, though, when a monster's normal special summoned except by the effect of Blackguard, and have its attack and special summon a rose token to the controller's opponent's side of the field. Attack position, you can destroy that card to also get destroy this card to and all face-up plants to special summon a monster with attack equal to total attack of those monsters. So essentially, you can pop it to go get something else. In this particular deck, one of the better things to do is you can pop it to get Banisher back to keep removing stuff, which is really good. Also, you can pop it and go get Bear back, which is only 1600. Once there are 2 tokens out, you can go ahead and activate that. So that's pretty cool. I do run a dimensional fissure because it's defissure, and again, I like to keep the grave as clean as possible. Hardly any of my stuff is going to hit the grave anyway, and even the stuff that does is not going to bother me. I don't need a grave to play. Last card is, of course, oh, sorry, not the last card, second to last card is Dark Hole, because every deck needs Dark Hole, it seems. And 10 key, I run 2 10 keys. I don't run the third right now. I'm still running the 2. It seems to be doing pretty good for me. If I add another Winged Rhinos, I will probably add a third 10 key, because I will have then 8 targets, and I can run 3 10 key for it. I do, actually with this deck I had a side deck for it, which I, as you know in my other videos, I don't usually talk about side decks. I do side deck Gorilla as a substitute, just depending on if I'm running against another defensive player. So that's also something for you there to think about. And I wanted to make the comment, obviously, the Dark Hole. Let me get my traps here. Dark Hole, the thing with that is what you want to do is, you know, after the Dark Hole, you bounce all your stuff away, and then it comes back and your opponent doesn't, and then they hate you and they call you nasty names, and then you can all just smile and wave. Out of the traps, there's lots of traps for Chain Beat. Pulsary Escape Device is really good. Each player chooses a monster they control. They shuffle it into their deck. Depending on when you play this, it can be a really good game changer. If anything, like let's say a Tarantula went off, or Dark Hole, or some other card, and I have no other monsters out, also I can send one of the Rose tokens I get to the deck, which basically means you still shuffle yours in, and I don't really lose anything at that point. The other thing, obviously, is to do is you target. You activate this, and then you use Rabbit and Thunderbird and Winged Rhinos, those types of cards, and then use their effects, so that way only my opponent gets a minus, essentially, at that point. I'm not really losing anything. Double Mirror Force, because why not? I need to control monsters, and excuse me, even with Blackguard now, I'm being halved. Sometimes I don't have Blackguard, and I need a secondary plan, so I also run 2 of the Dimensional Prisons. I do not run Venus Chain. I really don't need Venus Chain in this deck. I am running 2 Needle Ceilings for consistency, because with Torrential Tribute, hey, over there, speaking of, with Torrential Tribute, Needle Ceiling, Dark Hole, those are some really good mass destruction spells, along with the Mirror Force. I can hit a lot of my opponent's cards with just that one card. So some 1-ofs, Bottomless, because why not? Escape Device, really good card. I do have the 1 Macros Cosmo. So another remove everything, just like Banisher, but trap form only. And the last card for the deck is Blackhorn of Heaven. I'm only attacking 1 right now. I'm probably going to try to knock that up to 2 as well. The last time I worked on this was about 2 months ago, so I haven't brought it up fully up to the April list yet. But again, thanks for watching. Thumbs up if you like the video. Thumbs down. Comments are good too. Want to subscribe? That'd be okay. If not, that's fine too. Either way. Thanks for watching. I will have the next video for you, and see you then.